All right, 2012 Dodge Ram. This applies to a lot of the older Rams now. This is the TIPM totally integrated power module that houses all the fuses and stuff like that. These have issues with corrosion. There's another video, we tear one down to show you what it looks like and how to take one apart if you want to look at one, but this is just how to change it. So first things first, we need to disconnect our power off the battery. So we're going to take this negative terminal off, 10mm nut. We loosen this off, and then we will need a 13mm socket to loosen off the nut that secures the power wire that powers up our totally integrated power module. So we can just stuff that down there. This nut here, take this off, and that way we can remove this power wire and set it aside. And then what I'm going to do is, I think I can just leave that lid on there. There's some retaining tabs here. So there's 4 of them, 1 in each corner. You may be able to get them with your fingers, and you may need a screwdriver, depends. I think I can reach all of them. So we get that unlocked. And now we've got a bunch of connectors underneath here that we're going to have to undo. You can see we've got some red locking tabs on some of them. So that's a secondary lock. Just grab yourself a little flathead screwdriver, and it might help if you use some silicone spray. If these things are real stuck, try to clean the dirt and stuff off of them. So we get that unlocked like so, and then what I like to do is just wiggle the connector while I'm pushing on this thing. A lot of times these connections will get stuck in here or they'll get real dirty. And if you force this piece, either this breaks or the ears on here break, and then you have issues resecuring your connector when you try to put it back together. So go ahead and get these things off. All right, so we've got those off. You can see these ones here. There's you got to push this down to release this gray tab, and just really watch, because like I say, these little plastic arms break. Once you get all that stuff off, you get this thing out of here. Take a look at all your pins and stuff like that. Clean any of them up if there's any of them that are corroded. I use dielectric grease every time I take one of these things apart. Different companies make this stuff. I get the stuff by Clean Flow. It's Easy Slide is what they call it. It's synthetic dielectric grease, and that's just going to keep the moisture out of the pins, because if you come take a look here, you can see this is the one we're putting in, and this is the one we're taking out. You see that pin right down there? All nice and green. And that'll just chase its way right into the inside of that thing and start corroding everything and give you issues. So get this all gummed up, cleaned up. I also like to clean out all the leaves and crap like that, because that's just going to hold moisture and just create a moisture cesspool underneath of it, which isn't any good. And then just inspect all your wires and stuff like that. Just make sure there's nothing that's rubbing through, and basically get it all plugged in, snap it back down, tighten your power cord, and hook the battery back up. You should be good to go. So got any questions, throw them down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. All right, so we got this 2012 Ram 1500 in. It's a crank no start. So we're gonna scan it and see what's going on. Okay, so basically right now we've scanned the vehicle. Let's go quickly look at the codes here. There's 2 codes I'm interested in. First off, we're in PCM, and you can see we've got ASD main control circuit and ASD main sense circuit. So that's the auto shutdown relay. And if we take a quick look here at our schematic, we can see that there's our auto shutdown relay, and it just, when it closes, it allows power to go to wherever it goes to. I didn't look to see, but it says the control side of the circuit has an issue. So that would be this coil side. Now, it's hot at all times, so power comes in through the board up to pin 85 and to pin 30. So first thing that we're gonna do is check for power on pin 85 and pin 30 to make sure that we don't have an issue somewhere inside the board. So we'll just you can take a test light or use a power probe like I'm using here, and you can see if I can get in there. Key is on right now? Yep. That's strange, we did have power. Yeah. So we have power on both of those. Yeah, just watch about that, I guess. So that's a bit deceiving. I guess it's just not going down far enough to touch those terminals. Strange. Anyhow, so yeah, we got power there. Now, if you see what controls that coil to turn it on, we follow this brown wire down. That runs down to our ASD relay control, which is inside of the powertrain control module. So the PCM just grounds that circuit, turns the coil on, and then closes the relay to feed power to these two circuits here. Now, what we can do to just check that is I can feed power to pin 87, and that's going to close that relay and act as if the PCM was grounding that circuit. So while I feed power, you go crank the vehicle and it should start. All right, you can shut that off. Okay, so now we've got an issue either inside of this module where it goes from this pin down through to the connector. There could be an issue in there, or we've got an issue in our wiring between this pin 14, which is brown and black, down to our PCM, or third option is we've got an actual issue inside the PCM itself and it's not working properly. So next step is to yank this thing out. We're going to take a look at the connector, make sure there isn't any corroded pins, broken wires, stuff like that, see what we find. All right. Okay, so we found out that inside of here, the pin that runs that auto shutdown relay control circuit is rotted off. So that's really unfortunate, but that's what happens to these things. They get all gross and corroded. So in this case, you should replace your totally integrated power module, because it's only a matter of time before that corrosion spreads around inside of there and you start losing more and more circuits. If you had the know-how, you could bypass it with some wiring. We found out that there is actually a bypass already for the power supply to the powertrain control module. So that's what it needs. You got any questions, throw them down in the comments below. If you got a truck like this and you got problems, give this video a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.